This is forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is forward 1. You're running out of time. Party Gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega left. We're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're ready to lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. Now tracking multiple targets inbound.
Got him on radar, Stroll. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates it's good eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking.
This is a query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting.
Roger, Control.
Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is forward 1. You're running out of time. Party Gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega left. We're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're ready to lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. Now tracking multiple targets inbound.
Got him on radar, Stroll. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates it's good eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking.
This is a query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting.
Roger, Control.
Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is forward 1. You're running out of time. Party Gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega left. We're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're ready to lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. Now tracking multiple targets inbound.
Got him on radar, Stroll. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're...
Attention to the paper doll. Make sure you guys are shooting the correct legs. Be careful of the collisions. I don't want to hear complaints about it. Work around Let's play this game.
I need another heavy. I've got TB and a quick draw.
I want to get fairly tight to it. Now, anybody who's going to be working range, I'm going to need you to fade right on this. And anybody's running short is going to stay towards the top of the caldera if we're going to come at them.
I have you in the Griff. Griffin.
Sounds good.
Well, that's the thing. We got to get to brawling range, so I may be moving us, right up to the hoop if we have to.
Wolverine nach Charlie 4.
It's fine, chill out, man, it's fine, it's just a 5-star.
Komm Leute, redet miteinander.
15 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't die.
Guys,
15 seconds, don't die.
guys. 3, 2, 1.
Charlie Dar, CT, yellow. Okay, go for Charlie, see if we can get it.
There. To your left, there's there. Sorry, shit.
So, jetzt guys, hinter die Indie-Pocken.
Mediums be prepared to pull back E40 towards the E5 border. On my mark.
Left side, come on! Like now, I need strikes on empty barrels. Why are our strikes up?
Die Hauptgruppe rechts, Uferlinie.
They have 3 mechs sitting on the left side when you pass over.
Overheating is bad.
Both legs on the Griffin. Hit the Griffin.
Sorry about that. That was such a
That's right. I'm gonna spawn Lance, you guys in Charlie, Lance, you guys in Bravo. That's B2C1.
This third drop is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults.
Jetzt in die Breite, zieht euch in die Breite.
Lights, watch our backs. We're gonna about base and take up position in Bravo 6.
Ja, kurz Aufschaltung, Delta 4, 3 Stück, 2 Mediums, ein Light, wie ich es richtig gesehen habe.
Make a firing line.
C4 Tactical Hill, boys.
Fox.
Laufen unter ECM, hab 2 durchlaufen, 10 Bravo 4.
And get ready to hit people coming from our right.
Charlie on the left. Charlie, a Hellbringer on the left.
Okay, let's group up towards the left. We're gonna press through Bravo 3 to Bravo 4. I think they're kind of spread out.
Check yourselves. Make sure you've got, UAV cool shot.
Here they come. They're pushing hard, guys.
Decro. Tez on.
Go.
Oh, got a contact here, Bravo 3.
Nice, Marshall. I'm on Delta Griffin.
Well, you cross it then. Get in their face. They got a highlighter. They just pushed up on Theta. We need help on Theta. Up on Theta.
Yep, that's the noise. Go. Let's finish this.
Full pressure, guys. Full pressure. They're down low. They're down low in Charlie 3.
Get the fucking arm, Jackson.
Jackson, cool shot.
Cough. I got him.
Okay, go.
Go, B3, go.
Echo, go. Get over on your medium, guys. Get Echo Stormcrow.
God, I suck as a pilot, but thank I packed my skill.
I'm sorry that you died, sweet girls, but we will send a reasonably nice letter to your family.
Telemetry indicates it's good jet.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep them off you.
This is McQuarrie. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting. Roger, Control.
Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down the lift. a crime. Party camera is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU dancers as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega left. We're getting cargo secure. As soon as we're able to lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. Now tracking multiple targets.
We've got him on radar, Control. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates this footage in.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep them off you. This is the query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting.
Roger, Control.
Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is Forward 1. You're running out of time. Party camera is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU dancers as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega left. We're getting cargo secure. As soon as we're able to lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. Now tracking multiple targets.
We've got him on radar, Control. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates this footage in.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep them off you. This is the query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting.
Roger, Control.
Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is Forward 1. You're running out of time. Party camera is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU dancers as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega left. We're getting cargo secure. As soon as we're able to lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. Now tracking multiple targets.
We've got him on radar, Control. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're...
Okay guys, that's our last match of the season. Let's make this one count.
Wenn sie zu mir kommen, mich überraschen, ziehe ich sie zu euch und fertig.
Alles klar. Alright, so medium's Gamma, light's Theta, heavy's Kappa.
Roger.
Alright, here we go. Bravo Lance, Theta is yours. W key.
Roger.
Alright, can't see anything, stacking up in Theta.
I keep getting seismic. Can you see them?
Yeah, they got heavies up here as well. Kill anything that moves.
Lights, just give us some scouting. That's probably the best thing for you guys.
Roger, moving to E4.
Here they come.
What do you see? What do you see?
100 and Delta 4 on.
Alright, guys. Comms. Got it.
Yep. Prepare to fight. Call target.
Pushing
Alpha,
in,
Alpha,
pushing
Alpha,
in.
guys.
Here we go.
That big
Yeah.
mix has moved up. That big mix has moved up.
Copy that, okay.
Wait for them to come to us.
Roll into them.
I'm rolling.
Rolling.
Max D3 coming from our right, guys.
Yeah, we got this.
I want to call something and I want to see it dead in seconds. Make it happen.
Okay, auf 3. 1, 2, 3. Go. Guys, we need to get on top over here quick.
J'ai un Stormcrow qui cafouille dans le dos là.
Keep going, let's go!
Go. Everybody in.
Got him. Nice. Hawk crouch down.
That's all they can move, guys. Go now.
Bravo's leg.
Nice. Holy shit.
Yep, get out of there right now.
Take care of that Black Knight. Take him to pieces.
So kill him now. Push forward, guys. Push forward.
Nice fucking job.
Just run. Stay alive and run.
Nice job, everyone. Well fucking played. That is how it is done.
Fuck yeah, man. Well done.
I can forgive you for shooting me in the back.
Alright, keep your eyes active, guys. Don't have scouts on this one, so we're gonna have to all scout.
I'll be there soon too. We've got mechs on the way. You guys got this.
Seems like a fucking ambulance 911 call.
We are headed into drop 2. 2 lights, 4 mediums, 2 heavies, 0 assaults on skirmish. Let's take a look.
We need to spread out a bit. We need to see where from they're coming, and then we will.
Alright, boys. Manly men. We're gonna take some fire. We're gonna put fire out.
Just make sure you trade well.
Yeah.
So, stopp. Ändert Bewegungsrichtung.
Schon zu weit.
Yeah, we need to go it now. Yes.
Keep it up, hold your ground. They have a lot of guys beat up CGs.
The light is peeking at us, Record 4.
Yep, you got one right here.
We're doing alright, guys. We're up by 2. Stay cagey. 3 remaining. We got this one.
Alright, guys, let's do this.
Oh my fucking lord!
Foxtrot is red CT.
Alright, lights going behind him,
Hey, Charlie, come on, guys. Finish him.
Side doors up. Prepare for rapid speed. Stalker, Charlie.
Tir d'opportunité sur le couverture par l'ultra là.
Oh, and he got the kill.
And with a second shot, takes down Ian with the double.
D'ailleurs, derrière, bravo.
Dans les jambes toujours.
Like, go back.
Don't panic, just do it.
Yes!
It was a great match, back and forth, all sorts of stuff going on, incredible shots, things we've never seen before, and things you don't get to see.
Good job, Dara.
Yeah.
Good evening, mech warriors, MRBC enthusiasts, and fans of BattleTech. Welcome to another MRBCLeague.com Shoutcast. Tonight, Season 9 North American Division D Week 10 2323 Reggies facing off against Clan Widowmaker. These are currently the 2 top-rated teams in Division D, and so we are dubbing this match tonight the Battle for the D. Tonight, I will be your shoutcaster, El Switchblade, and joined for his debut shoutcasting will be DOG, the Death of Gods.
How we doing tonight, Mech Warriors?
All right. Now, normally I'd be joined in my shoutcast by Batman, right? But he can't make it. Or I'd be joined by Ash, right? But he can't make it. Or when I do AP, I get joined by the Man-Bat, Val himself, but he can't make it. And there was that one time I was joined by OP74, but he can't make it either. So we've got DOG in the house, the ginger rocking the sunglasses, cuter than Mikado Soul's puppy. Hopefully we can have a good cast for you boys tonight.
Hey, don't stack me up against a puppy, man. That's a tall order.
That is a cute damn puppy. So tonight we're going into this. It is the 10th match of the season for Clan Widowmaker. It will be the 9th match of the season for the 2-3-2-3 Reggies. Clan Widowmaker tonight should, if they are to win the season, they've got to 5-0 the 2-3-2-3 Reggies. They at least have to beat them by 330 reputation points tonight in order to maintain their league. The Reggies have to fight N-Tex one more time before the end of the season. If they're able to 1750, win all 5 drops against N-Tex, and then score more than 330 points than Widowmaker tonight, they will be able to move into first place. So this is essentially, I'd like to say, quote-unquote, for all the marbles. This is where it counts. The last time these two teams faced off against each other earlier in the season in Week 5, Clan Widowmaker was able to ice out the Reggies in a 4-1 victory. The Reggies bringing home, well, what drop was that, Death, that they brought that home in?
I believe it was drop 2 they managed to take him down.
Drop 2, so interesting to see how drop 2 goes tonight. So this is MRBC. MRBC, of course, is the largest community-run league in MechWarrior Online. The what did they call it during World's Championships? The hardest or most elite esports game out there. So the toughest competition in esports. It's a pretty difficult game for those that have played it for a long time, or even people coming into it. I think it'd be fair to call it that. So MRBC League, we break things into divisions. That's based upon previous season's performance, anecdote from the community, as well as a few data points that we collect throughout. Speaking of data points, once again, I want to call out Queenblade and Lil Ferret for all the work that they've done to collate the statistics for North America this season. We'll be going over those statistics here in just a moment. In a drop or a match in MRBC, there are 5 drops. The drops get progressively heavier as the night goes on, starting out with lights and mediums and finishing off with a number of assault mechs. Each drop has bonus criteria. Bonus criteria is worth 50 points. You win 100 points for winning the match and up to 200 points for killing all of the mechs. 8 mechs, 25 points apiece, for a total of 350 points per drop, a total of 1,750 for the match. In looking at the division standings right now, I talked about the numbers. You can see just how tight this race is between these two teams and how important it is. Both these teams bringing out their A game. I had the opportunity to speak to Speedy Mechanic a little bit before the drop tonight, a little bit with Benjamin. Both teams are very excited for the match tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at these two teams, the lineups, and what we're going to be seeing on the field tonight. So for 2-3-2-3 Reggies, DOG, Death, what do you see in these numbers? Let's talk about maybe some of the pilots and some of the drop history we've got here. And we've got the push to talk button, you gotta remember.
Yep. Looking at the Reggies, this is their first season in MRBC. We don't have a ton of data to go on their drops, but just jumping out at me here, Colton Long for him, done 34 drops, 5.88 kill-death ratio, which is just excellent. Fairly low damage number from him, 228, so he's dropping those guys pretty precisely. After him, we see pretty even on the KDs. 3-0 from DeVace, Benjamin putting out 2.53, 2.44 from Maximum Taco. It's a team that keeps it really tight, really even damage numbers across the board. Only real standout you see there is Chimera 11 at 496 a drop.
Quite a bit of damage there, yeah.
That is an excellent number. And he's been big for him. Played 40 drops for him this season. That's more than anybody else on the team.
So looking through their percentages across the drops in the weeks, they've been pretty successful across the board. Nothing below 75%, but it appears that drops 2 and 5 are their money balls, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. And you saw that in the match with Clan Widowmaker, which is their only match loss this season. They still managed to take drop 2. They kept drop 5 tight.
All right. So yeah, one thing to call out here is that right now the 2-3-2-3 Reggies are coming off of a high. They have a 5-0'd in weeks 7 and 8 as they come into week 9 tonight. So they are definitely running on an emotional high. A lot of adrenaline coming into this match against the Widowmakers, who again beat them 4-1 in week 5. So it should be interesting to see if that motivates them tonight, knowing that both this is the team that has done some significant damage to them before. They're coming off a high win ratio, and they've got to really bring it home tonight. So let's go ahead and take a look here at Team 2. So I've got Team 2 up on the screen now. Clan Widowmaker. Clan Widowmaker, of course, has been in MRBC since Season 1. Took a little bit of a break in Seasons 2, 3, and 4, and then back since Season 5, having won Division E2 last season. They got bumped up to Division D. Death of Gods, what do we see in these numbers here for the Clan Widowmaker?
One thing to know with Widowmaker is they put out a lot of different pilots. This is a team with a big pool to draw from. You see a few guys with a lot of matches for them, like a Milkshake and Titanus, 28-34, putting out some pretty good numbers, about 2 and 2.5 KD ratios. Keeping it tight across the board in their damage numbers as well. Almost everybody in the 2 and 300s. The outlier there again, you have a Milkshake at 451, really good damage numbers from him, and 425 from Darkness, but Darkness has only dropped 4 times for him.
Yeah, we've spent some time with Darkness, both in faction play and quick play queues. He spent some time on our TeamSpeak. Pretty good pilot. Obviously, he's at the near the top here with a 6.0 KD ratio, but only being in 4 drops. Curious if we're going to see him on the field tonight.
It'll be interesting to see who they bring out. I mean, they have plenty of guys putting up some good damage numbers and good KD ratios for them. 4 guys at 5-0 or better. But amongst those 4 guys, the most is Astardi with 14 drops. So it just depends on who they can bring out tonight.
And looking at their drop statistics, the Clan Widowmaker here, great ratios in drops 4 and 5, not having lost a drop 4 or 5 all season long, having won 3 out of 4 in both drops 1 and 3. Their lowest win-loss ratio, of course, is in drop 2, which, as we noted at the beginning of the cast, is the only drop that the Reggies were able to beat them in the last time they faced off in week 5. So, Death, as we go forward, we're going to go ahead and bring up the map strat tool here now, get into the matches. Let's talk about Drop 1. Drop 1, of course, is the only match in the set, or the only drop in the set of the matches tonight that we do on the Domination game mode. Of course, Domination is the center capture point objective in MechWarrior Online. The center green circle, both teams move towards it. Whoever is able to count down the timer quicker than the other team, you're able to keep counting down if you're the only mech in it, if your team's the only mech in it, or you're able to put shots on the other team, you can stop the counter from going down. So I've got the map strap tool up now, Death. What are some of the things that we might expect to see from these two teams coming in to this drop tonight in this division?
Well, I know most teams, they like to go for that quick guy in the domination circle, try to have that time advantage. Just gives them some more options on how they want to play it. Coming from the Team 2 side, I know something we like to do with our drops is rush guys in from Bravo Charlie. Get into this little D5 pocket here. One of the quickest approaches in, it gives you some good cover, it lets you play that Caldera and rotate to either side. Get a very, very similar approach, either Alpha Bravo or Bravo Charlie from the Team 1 side, holding here in Echo 5, and over on this corner in Echo 4.
It looks, again, it looks like a face maybe spitting some venom towards the C drop zone for Team 2 there. So hopefully we'll see some pretty good brawls. A lot of times what we see in this Drop 1, this Domination game mode, it's a lot of brawling. Mechs bring Brawl. Mechs Brawl, of course, for those maybe new to MechWarrior Online. Those are short-range weapons, so small pulse lasers, SRMs. There are no streak SRMs in this game mode, so it's Caustic Valley Domination Reconnaissance, 4 lights, 4 mediums, 0 heavies, 0 assaults, max 1 of any chassis, 1 duplicate allowed, no streak SRMs, and the bonus to get that 50 reputation points is to destroy 5 of the enemy mechs. So either team is able to get the bonus on this match. We've got Team 1 locked in, Team 2 getting locked in right now, and we're going to get going here very soon. Death, we've played against these guys a little bit in both faction play and quick plays. Without, we don't show favoritisms of casters, obviously. But what do you think? How do you think Drop 1's going to go based upon the numbers or just your gut feeling?
I mean, they both have a pretty good record in Drop 1. I have a feeling the Reggies are going to try to really come out strong here. They really need a good performance in this match to have any kind of chance of taking first. So I see them coming in kind of hungry for it and probably taking Drop 1 here.
So you heard it here. We've got Death predicting that the Reggies are going to bring home drop 1. I'll take the counter bet. I will bet that Clan Widowmaker, staying true to the number, the data points that are out there, they're going to move forward and secure this and maintain their first place lead. We've got both teams indicating ready. We're waiting on Speedy Mechanic to ready up, and then we are going to be Crash and Burn Mech Warriors. And here we go. Season 9, North American Division D, Week 10 match. This is the battle for the Ds. The 2-3-2-3 Reggies versus Clan Widowmaker, getting ready to go into drop 1 right now. Very exciting. I love these fights for these positions. The adrenaline that these teams are feeling. The pre-game locker room chats that are going on right now. These team captains are trying to boost up their teams, go over last-minute battle plans. What are they focusing on? Who are they shooting? You know, we have 3 questions we ask before a drop. What are those questions, Death? Nope, he doesn't.
Man, I don't know. I don't pay attention.
He doesn't pay attention. What are we shooting?
Leg day.
What are we shooting first?
Gotta have that tasty chicken legs.
Alright, so here we go. Coming in for the Reggie side on the south end of the map, we've got an Arctic Cheetah, a Hunchback 4SP, a Stormcrow, a Wolfhound, a Hunchback 2C, an Adder, a Nova, and an Arctic Cheetah. Doubling up on the Cheetahs. What do we got on the Widowmaker side there, Death?
Alright, having an issue still kind of loading in. Just a little slow.
No worries. It looks like for the Widowmakers, we've got a Griffin 3M, a Stormcrow, a Wolfhound, Arctic Cheetah, a Panther 9R, Hunchback 4SP, Raven 3L, and a Stormcrow. Doubling up on the Stormcrow for the Widowmakers, bringing it appears probably to be a brawl deck. I don't have access to their cockpits right now, but that Raven 3L is definitely going to be a poke mech.
Yep, I'm in the cockpits here, looking like a lot of brawl mechs for him. Small pulses on that Stormcrow, meat pulses on the Panther.
And Widowmaker's taking no delay here, moving in from the north end of the map, burning down some UAVs. Neither team able to secure a time advantage, both hitting at about the same time. But Widowmakers is getting their lights to move in around this rock structure and get sight on. Meanwhile, you've got the Reggies down here in a pretty good firing line. This is a pretty good split here. A couple of mechs stacked up on each other, but for the most part, they've got all their mechs able to put out fire. And it appears First Blood goes to Maximum Taco. Airstrike coming out, but great dodge by Maximum Taco, backing up there, only taking a little bit of damage from that airstrike. One mech from the Reggies was peeling out to the right. 2 mechs from the Reggies peeling out to the right here. Most of the forces, though, still gathered up here. And an Artie Strike coming out, doing a little bit of damage on the Reggies. Meanwhile, you've got the Widowmakers with a pretty good line here across the rock structure. Each mech, pair of mechs in some cases, lined up around the rocks, putting out that fire. No real bulk of forces for the Widowmakers to take that great strike damage if the Reggies are able to get a good one out. And both teams doing a great job, too, of taking down UAVs. Those UAVs are going up, and teams are focusing on them. We'll see the laser fire going out here as they burn down those UAVs. And neither team wasting time or energy in moving into the brawl at this point. They're really trying to get those strikes out, soften up those enemy teams. Both teams sitting pretty high in percentages-wise. I know percentages don't always tell the true story because arms... Oh, and Deadeye is down at 76% in the Nova. Of note, though, when the Nova goes down in percentages, a lot of time that's in the arms. And those arms go on that Nova, and that mech is pretty much useless. Another great strike there by the Widowmakers on the Reggies. The Widowmakers here too, they've got a good position. You've got a couple of mechs from the Reggies moving up on the flank here, and it looks like Darkness in his Griffin is going to, I don't want to say take the bait, but he's going to put down some fire and run those mechs off. Meanwhile, let's look to watch to see if the Reggies push in on that right flank, and the Reggies have. The Reggies have determined that, you know what, we've got some attention, let's move in now, and here comes the brawl, folks. It looks like we've got Benjamin Kirsch on point in that Adder, down at 59%. He's probably going to be going down pretty soon. And the rest of the Reggies not pushing in. Benjamin is alone. He gets iced out by Radjack. The Widowmakers responding well to a concave there from that push. Deadeye is getting a 2-1 over here on the right-hand flank. We've got 6 of the Widowmaker mechs on the left. Fighting Johnny Rico, it appears to be on his own, but Speedy out front. Now it's a 1-1 game here. Shamero evening it back up for the Widowmaker.
Quick kill by Darkness there, 2-1 for the Widowmakers now.
Yeah, the teams that they're hung up this rock structure here is really providing a lot of cover for the Reggies. They're pretty much balled up behind this rock structure. If they would push around to the left or right here, they really should be able to ice out these Widowmaker mechs and get in that nasty brawl, put down that fire. Damage advantage definitely appears to be in favor of the Reggies at this point. We've got 2 mechs around or below 50, or 3 mechs around or below 50 on the Widowmaker side, and only 1 on the Reggie side. And Radjack getting Deadeyes. It's a 3-1 game in favor of the Widowmakers at this point. Reggie's holding that high ground, not really committing to the brawl, being a little passive here. And in this case, I do mean passive in a negative way, but Darkness is overcommitted. And now the Widowmakers are coming in, determining that it is the time. But Chimera bringing down Darkness, taking that advantage away from the Widowmaker. Widowmakers pushed in 2 mechs. Yeah, but they have not fully committed here. And now we've got a 4-2 game in favor of the Widowmakers still. Those Reggies peeling out to the right side have got to get themselves into the fight. They're losing these mechs one by one as the Widowmakers bring down that fantastic focus fire. It's a 4-3 game now. Reggie's edging it back ever so slightly. 5-3 game. We're down to the last 4 mechs on the Widowmaker side. 2 left for the Reggies.
Marksman Taco goes down to Radek there.
A 2-3 game. Reggie's bringing this back ever so slightly, and the Reggie's mechs are pretty fresh here. We've got Radjack and the Stormcrow, which puts out a lot of damage. The Hunchback 4SP, which is a tanky-ass mech for the Widowmakers. And Salty with a horrible shutdown right there. He's going to pay the price. Ooh! Chimera with another kill. It is a 2-on-2 game at this point. Radjack bringing down the guy, doing the kills for the Reggies. It's a 2-on-1 game. Can Salty Hot Dog Fingers bring this out, get that medium mech kill, and then bring down that Panther? And no, Radjack getting the kill, Widowmakers bringing it home with a 6-8 game in favor of the Widowmakers. Reggies were down on numbers there. They were able to bring it back at the end. They spent a lot of time behind these rocks over here and not really getting into the fight. But ultimately, you know, the Widowmakers had superior firepower and superior positioning and were able to win this out. Death, anything in these damage numbers or kills that you notice worth talking about?
Right off the bat, light drop in Radek in that Stormcrow was 779 damage and 5 kills. He was just focusing them down quick.
That Stormcrow with all those small pulse lasers in this type of match, it is a powerful mech. Take advantage of that.
After Radek, you're seeing here good numbers from Bastardi and that Panther. He was also alive there at the end. And on the 2-3-2-3 side, 449 from Salty Hot Dog Fingers in that Arctic Cheetah. He tried to get it back for him. Didn't quite finish it, and 4 kills by Chimera and his Arctic Cheetah. The Lights definitely doing some work for 23-23, just couldn't quite cinch it.
Couldn't quite cinch it, yeah. I think they spent a little bit too much time behind the cover there, being passive, not getting into the fight. And here we are at the end of Drop 1. At the end of Drop 1, we've got Clan Widowmaker up 1-0 against the Reggies, 350 rep to 200 rep. The Reggies doing a good job of killing mechs there, and didn't put themselves that far behind in reputation points from Clan Widowmaker at the end of this drop. Death, I'm bringing up the map strat tool. Why don't you talk to us about some of the stuff that happened on that map there?
Wipe this here real quick. Alright, Team 2 dropping Bravo Charlie. They did what we said and kind of pushed in quickly here into this Delta 5. Came up and took a power position along that ridge there, Delta 5, Delta 6, and then pushed up into Echo 5, Echo 6. Kind of controlling that area. And from the Reggies dropping Team 1, Alpha Bravo coming in. They split a couple guys off. Get sight lines here, Fox 4, Fox 5. Brought the bulk of their force into Echo 4, Echo 5 corner here. And once I think they saw them grouping up here, they're throwing lots of strikes back and forth, kind of trying to open stuff up. And I think they saw something that they liked there, that they called that push into them. And it looked like they were going to have the advantage rolling in on that corner with the Widows kind of spread out along that ridge in Echo 4, Echo 5, but got a little tentative in their push, I think.
Yeah, they stalled the push for sure there on those rocks, yep.
I'm going to just let Widowmakers regroup and get a nice concave here in Echo 5, Echo 6, and really put some damage back in on them. And 23-23, they came back up. They're using that ridge, poking hard, using those lasers and those high mounts, but they put a lot of damage in on the Widowmakers, but just couldn't finish off mechs, and I think that's what cost them in the end.
Yeah, you know, one thing to point out for you folks watching, whether you're new to competitive, you're playing MechWarrior for fun, trading, setting up those lines, getting those trades out, that's good MechWarrior play, of course. But when it's time to commit to a push, when the push is called, when your team commits to that, you have got to push. If you push and there are 1 or 2 mechs off balance, as we saw in this last match, The receiving team will often kill those 1 or 2 mechs. The team that's pushing holds back, doesn't commit to the push, and they've lost those 2 mechs, they've lost their aggressive advantage, and the team receiving the push, they just reset their line, and they get back in that position again, a superior position, and at this point, you're now compelled to push again, but at greater numbers. So definitely make sure that if you're watching this and you're new to competitive MechWarrior, you're playing in quick play, that when your team calls a push, sometimes even if it's a bad call, you just gotta go. So here we are, we're getting ready to go into Drop 2, Tourmaline Desert, moving into the Conquest game mode. Conquest game mode is 5 capture points on the map. Each capture point increases the time of the ticks that go down. The first team to get 750 wins the game. Oftentimes we see these maps, these drops finish in kills before it comes to a cap game. It is 2 lights, 4 mediums, 2 heavies, 0 assaults, max weaponing chassis, 1 duplicate allowed, and the bonus to get on this match, this drop, is to destroy 5 of the enemy mechs. Both teams can receive this bonus. Death, very quickly, we've got Team 1 set to go. What might we see on this drop here as we get ready to go into Drop 2? Let's change the map strat to Tourmaline Desert Conquest here. Sorry about that. And tell me what we might see happen.
You have a lot of different options here. You'll get teams that'll try to play that cap game. They'll kind of spread out, drop guys in all 3 lances, drop like 1 guy in Bravo to go back quick and get Gamma, dropping guys in Alpha to try to pick off Epsi or Theta. Charlie gives you a decent approach at Kappa. Team 2 side, I think, has a little harder time capping. They have good approaches on their back cap at Sigma, and a good approach on Theta, especially to bring in a lot of power from the Alpha and Bravo lances. But I think it really favors Team 2 trying to push in. Either they can take some range, set up in Fox 5 and poke. They can bring Brawl, which is something I know we're apt to do in our matches, and you can either push around the left side into Echo 4 up onto the stage area behind Theta, bring Bravo in over Fox 5. You also see teams on the Team 1 side do that and try to take that power position sniping from that stage area or from Echo 6, Fox 6.
All right, we've got both teams indicating ready here, so we're going to bring down the map strat tool. We're going to launch into this, and we are crash and burn Mech Warriors. Here we go into Week 10, Division D, North America, the 2-3-2-3 Reggies versus Clan Widowmaker. After drop 1, we've got Widowmaker up 150 points. That's 350 total, over 200 points to the Reggies. If you'll recall from the beginning of the match, the Reggies have got to beat the Widowmakers tonight by 330 reputation points in order to move into first place. The Widowmakers merely have to continue the trend that they've shown in previous weeks to maintain their first place victory in Division D. Let's get going here. So again, this is Tourmaline Desert, both teams spawning in. You've got Team 2 spawning in on the sort of they start on the western side of the map around this terrain feature. You've got some lances starting back here, and you could have a lance starting all the way back here. Meanwhile, Team 1 starting back here in the Delta 5 area, spread through Delta 6 and back over through this rock structure. So, for the Reggies, we've got a Huntsman, an Oni-chan, that's an Orion 2CA, Hunchback 2CA, Jenner 2CA, Stormcrow, Arctic Cheetah, Nova, and Orion 2CA. They have gone Brawl for sure. What do we got coming on the Widowmaker side there, Death?
Like we might have the same thing the Widowmakers. I'm seeing Griffin 3M, Timberwolf Delta, Nova, Stormcrow. 2 Stormcrows doubling up on the Stormcrows. Linebacker, Panther, and Adder.
Yeah, and we've got an immediate push from the Alpha Lance, from Widowmakers, pushing straight into the Delta 5 towards the stage, and we've got a little bit of laser fire coming down from Chimera out of that, looks like that Hunchback 2CA rocking some pulse and mediums there, but we've already got the Widowmakers in stage. They're coming hard in the brawl. Metaphor a little bit off balance in his push, the rest of the team stretched out behind him, but they are not hesitating getting into this fight right away. Meanwhile, the rest of the Widowmakers are coming through Theta, trying to wrap around and get into this fight. It looks like that the Rajak and Metaphor are going to be the first mechs focused down from Widowmakers. Reggie's doing a great job of receiving this push, but now we're getting into some nasty brawl area here. Not a lot of great sight lines, but again, the Reggies have done a good job of holding back. Reggie's getting first blood there, Benjamin killing out Metaphor, and Widowmakers responding in kind. It's a 1-1 game. Really hard to keep track of what's going on in the fight here. We got some fights going on over here in the slant to the right. We've got a bit of a fight here going on in the ramp back towards the bowl behind stage and the rafters. really hard to keep track of what's going on here. It's a 2-1 game in favor of the Reggies at this point, 3-1 and 3-2 in favor of the Reggies, and we've got a lot of singular fights going on. All the mechs across the field are damaged. It looks like the Reggies have a couple of fresher mechs than the Widowmakers. The Widowmakers finally consolidating their forces down in this little trench here, but they've got to push out of this. The Reggies getting another kill on the Widowmakers. It looks like we might have the Reggies getting another win in Drop 2, as they've shown in Week 5.
Yeah, it looks like Widowmaker's just trickling in one by one, trying to come up that ramp.
And Astarte, the last mech for the Widowmakers. Reggies with the laser vomit, both large pulse, small pulse, and some ER mediums, peeling those Widowmakers apart as they came into the fight, and Reggies winning the fight. However, no, not however, they denied the Widowmakers the bonus. The Reggies doing a good job in Drop 2 with an 8-3 victory in favor of the Reggies at the end of Drop 2. 3 mechs, really fresh on the Reggie side still. Salty Hot Dog, Fingers, Karinsky, Deadeyes, and Benjamin, all above 80%. Look at this pile of bodies through here along the backside of the stage towards the slant. This was just a nasty brawl. Very hard to keep track of what the fight was going on, who was focusing who. A lot of different angles of fire going on. I cannot even imagine what those comms were like during that fight. But the Reggies able to bring it home and edge out the Clan Widowmaker. What do you see in these numbers, Death?
Prep lost the lobby. That is weird. Sorry, lost it there, Switch.
No worries. So we've got on the 2-3-2-3 side, Chimera again with 609 damage, being ace for his team, and on the Clan Widowmaker side, we've got Twinkie Monger at 332 and A Milkshake at 355. 5 kills for Benjamin Kirsch in the General 2CA for the Reggies, definitely getting the most number of kills and finishing off next for his team. Pretty good damage spread on the Reggies side, a couple of outliers in 190s, but everyone else between 365 and 609. Decent damage spread again for the Clan Widowmakers. Obviously, they've got a couple of outliers here, but by and large, they're sitting around the mid to high 2s and a couple in the low to mid 3s. So good job by both teams there. Reggie's able to respond to that push, the off-balance push by the Widowmakers, ice out those mechs, and bring home the victory. And as we go at the end of Drop 2, we've got 2-3-2-3 Reggies with 550 reputation points to 425 reputation points for Clan Widowmaker. Death, I'm bringing up the map strat tool. Why don't you walk us through what we saw happen on that fight?
Alright, it's kind of like I said, we had Team 1 try to set up on stage here. End up with the bulk of their force in this little pocket kind of in the Echo 6 Delta 5 corner, and place 2 of their lights back here in Delta 5. Now, when Widowmakers drop in here and Alpha Bravo pushed up stage, pushed to this right-hand ramp with most of their forces, and they came in and the Reggies managed to pop one mech quickly from their firing position there in Echo 6, and as Widowmakers moved in those 2, they got to come in from this backside here up these little ramps and just start popping off at Widowmakers' backs, really doing some damage to them. And as soon as Widowmakers tried to respond to it with a Nova, well, they managed to just pop right back down the ramp, reposition, and re-engage from that backside.
Yeah, and you had the Widowmakers split. They did that initial alpha to stage push right across that line from Echo 4 to Delta 5, spread themselves kind of thin. A couple of mechs coming in the back in Echo 6 and Delta 6. Just really weren't balled up enough for a push. Even if they were going to do a murder ball, their forces were spread too thin, and the Reggies had that, to what you have drawn here, that really solid line at the back of the stage, and the Widowmakers just moved in. The first 2 mechs that moved in, that Stormcrow and the I can't remember what the other mech was, but it was a Stormcrow and something else. They initially pushed in and got iced out really fast by the Reggies there on that drop. So we're getting ready to go here into Drop 3. Drop 3, of course, is Mining Collective. One more of our drops in Conquest. In fact, the rest of our drops tonight will be in the Conquest game mode. And then from here, it is going to be Mining Collective Conquest. Commander Assassination, 0 lights, 3 mediums, 4 heavies, 1 assault. 1 85-ton commander mech required from both teams, maximum of any chassis when duplicate allowed. The bonus on this drop, though, is only available to one team. You must destroy the enemy commander, that's the 85-ton mech on the other team, and keep your commander alive. So a lot of times we see teams utilize different strategies here. Some recognize that 85-ton mech as being a powerhouse. They put them up front, live or die, forget the 50 points, let's win it. Other times teams keep that mech in the back and it's more of a support mech with some longer range Overwatch weapons and it's shooting into it. Death, bringing up the map strat tool here in Mining Collective. What do we think we might see happen on these teams tonight in this division based upon what we've seen so far?
It looks like both teams have come to brawl tonight. I am thinking they're going to both group on one side, try to take a cap from their corner. You might see probably a Bravo Alpha from the Widowmakers on Team 2 coming in. They can push up that Fox line, take Epsi, take Gamma if they want to, and come in for a power position overwatching Theta and hope for the brawl at Theta. Conversely, you might see the same thing going Bravo Alpha from Reggie's, pushing into that area, trying to cap Gamma and Theta. A lot of the times with this, you might end up with that big brawl happening around this center platform on the wall that Switch likes to claim as his own.
It's my wall. That's Switch's wall.
And these little stacks back here, which make some good cover positions. If you can get, say, maybe 1 or 2 Overwatch mechs with a little range up there, can really put out some damage on teams.
All right, great breakdown there, Death. Thank you very much for that. Guys, if you're just tuning in, this is Season 9 North American Division D, Week 10, 2-3-2-3 Reggies versus Clan Widowmaker. At the end of Drop 2, it's a 1-1 game, 550 reputation points for the Reggies, 425 reputation points for Clan Widowmaker. We will be doing 4 giveaways tonight. That's 4 giveaways. We're going to do 4 rolls at the end of the night. So after Drop 5, prior to the team interviews, we'll be doing 4 giveaways. And then at the very end of the drop, after the match, after we're done with the team interviews, I will be rolling to see which 3 matches next week we're going to cast next Thursday. We've got 3 great matchups next week. We'll talk about those at the end of the match tonight. We've got Team 1 locked in here as we get ready to go into Mining Collective. Team 2 is getting set now. We've only got a 10-ton disparity between the teams at this point. And it looks like we have lost you on Skype there, Death. I'm bringing up your placeholder image. We will be moving forward without a cam at this point until we're able to restore that. Team 1 locked in. Team 2 getting ready to lock in right now. Just waiting on that to happen. So far, Death, doing a pretty good job casting your casting debut. What do you think, man? For folks that might be interested in getting into casting, checking this out, what advice do you have for those folks?
Well, I just say you got to kind of come into it open and have a experienced caster kind of show you the ropes, like Switch here. Somebody who does a great job with it, in my opinion.
He was not paid. He was not paid to say that, folks. Just to be clear, this is completely unpaid for. All right, I've restored the camera at this point, so we are good to go on that. All right. So we've got Team 1 locked in. Still waiting on Team 2 to get locked in. Apologize for the delay there on that. Let me just check my volume levels to make sure this didn't break it. And how are my volume levels? Do my volume levels sound okay, Death? Does it sound too loud?
It might just be a hair loud now.
Okay. Apologize. When we lost the cam, it of course changed my volume level, so I'm fixing that right now. Is it any better?
Yep. Perfect.
All right. Good. Sorry about that, guys. When we lose this cam software has a bad habit of readjusting the volume levels for the mic, so a little bit of an audio glitch there. We're going to definitely try to find a better solution for this going forward. So we've got both teams ready to go. We are dropping in now as soon as Hindsight readies up. We will go into this. It is Drop 3, Season 9, North American Division E, Week 10, MRBCLeague.com, 2-3-2 Reggies versus Clan Widowmaker, and we are Crash and Burn Mech Warriors. So Mining Collective, of course, one of my favorite maps in MechWarrior Online. I love this map. It's got great sight lines, great brawl. It's got that beautiful moon. Look at that moon up in the sky there. That's just gorgeous. Both teams getting ready to come in. Of course, 5 capture points on the map. Kappa and Sigma on the north end of the map. Gamma and Epsilon on the south end of the map. Theta here in the middle. A lot of fighting. That's the point that Death was talking about momentarily ago. The fighting that happens around Theta. This, of course, is the place that we like to call Switch's Wall. Whose wall? Switch's Wall. All right, coming in for 2323 Reggies on Team 1, we've got a Viper, Nova, Summoner, Eben Jag, Marauder 2C, Onichan, that's an Orion 2C, and another Onichan. Doubling up on the Onichans, they may have come to brawl and a Huntsman in the end. What do we got coming in for the Widowmakers?
Looks like we got a Summoner, 2 Summoners doubling up on the Summoners, Onichan, Marauder 2C, Nova, Linebacker, Hunchback 2C, and a Griffin 3M. Like might have 1 or 2 Overwatch mechs in here and a bunch of big brawlers.
So both teams advancing towards Theta, neither team grabbing a cap point at this stage in the game. Of note, remember, there is a rule in MRBC. If either team has a disconnect in the first minute or before a mech is destroyed, a redrop can, a hold can be called. However, if a capture is made in that first minute, a redrop must occur. And so Widowmakers forcing the redrop should a DC occur at this point. We are past the 1 minute mark. Both teams setting up. We've got Reggie set up over here on the right on the other side of Switch's Wall. Meanwhile, we've got the Widowmakers lined up behind Theta. A couple mechs over here in the C4, D4 area. I'm not really sure what's happening. Both teams apparently getting set, trying to find the enemy, get eyes on, determine where they're going to do that push. Some Overwatch PPC fire coming from a Starday and his mirror on the other side over here at Smokestacks. Some PPC fire also coming from maybe Twinkie in his Nova doing some pop PPC. No, he's got small pulse. Not sure where that PPC fire was coming from. But teams holding on now.
Widowmaker's getting some tickets off of taking Sigma. Looks like Reggie's are responding now, taking Gamma, but they're going to come in with a little bit of a cap disadvantage here.
And Benjamin Kirsch putting down PPC fire on the blue flames over here, but you'll notice that there is no mech here for him to shoot at. Widowmaker stagnant behind Theta. We've got the Reggies over here stagnant behind Switch's Wall, and we are waiting. It's the waiting game at this point. With the caps being the way they are, Reggies are going to have to push in at some point. Widowmaker's getting a second cap point on Theta, forcing the Reggies with their 1 cap point to move. Looks like the Reggies are trying to cap Epsilon, but unfortunately, with the cap advantage that the Widowmakers were able to get early on, this is going to be up to the Reggies to push in, maybe go out and get some more caps. Otherwise, the Widowmakers are quite content to hold back and win this on caps, it looks like. And the Widowmakers know this.
Get some strikes on Theta there, but a little late for it. Widowmaker's already managing to take the cap point.
You know, as we talked about in the beginning, the Widowmakers simply have to win tonight by over 330 reputation points, and they have secured their victory of Division D. In no rush here to spend mechs. They're content to win this in any means possible, even if that includes forcing the Reggies to move into this line. Take note of this line. You know, this line here being across the wall, not a lot of opportunities for these mechs to fire if the Reggies were to push down the Echo 4 ramp into them through the hydro containers here. Nice airstrikes, and Artie's coming in on Little Ferret. He's down to 67% in that Griffin 3M. That looks like it might be just his torso smoking, maybe his arms smoking. Normally not a lot of armor in those arms on that Griffin 3M, so... starting the Hunchback 2C here with a good Overwatch position, able to see approach from the Reggies. Reggies still in the same position they were holding. We've got mechs spread out across the smokestacks here, but no one really getting aggressive. And yeah, we're waiting. Cap's definitely in favor of the Widowmakers. Both teams, it's a 2-2 cap game at this point, with Widowmakers having Theta and Sigma, 2-3-2 the Reggies having Gamma and Epsilon. And
Reggies are trying to back cap and take Sigma off the Widowmakers.
We've got Reggies, yeah, back here. Salty Hot Dog Fingers Kerensky, best name ever, moving in to try to maybe grab Sigma. Maybe he's going to move past and grab Kappa, ignore Sigma, or maybe he's just trying to get eyes on. Yeah, he's moved past Sigma, has ignored Sigma, and is moving towards the Kappa point. Not really sure about that. Maybe he didn't. He thought he was too close to their side if he did that, and they'd collapse on him. But Kappa's a little bit more isolated. It would take them time to push away from him. But he's definitely
trying to pull a couple of them off that Overwatch to deal with him in a Kappa and get his guys to push in.
It could be that, but it doesn't look like the Widowmakers care. They're shrugging their shoulders and being like, eh. Neither team's still making any aggressive movement towards either the other team's position. A little bit of shifting from the Widowmakers. I think maybe they've gotten the hint here and have decided that it's time to go. We've got a pretty aggressive movement towards the Echo 4 ramp. We've got a stack forming up here behind Speedy Mechanic. And yeah, we've got the Widowmakers stacked here. Pretty good stack setting up. Again, not pushing. Meanwhile, you've got the Reggies on the mirrored side. They have not moved. A little bit of movement from Chimera now. I think he might see the Widowmakers coming at them down the ramp into that laser vomit. So here we go. Widowmakers not wasting any more time in pushing in. They're cutting left here to the backside of the wall and focusing fire on this Orion, the two Orions. But the Orion's responding in kind, and Speedy Mechanic likely to go down soon. Seeing a lot of flamer fire coming out here. The Orion 2Cs both down in their 60s. They're hurt pretty bad. And first blood goes to the Reggies against the Widowmakers. Widowmakers evening it back up. We've got a pretty nasty brawl happening here. These two laser vomit mechs in the back, Johnny Rico and Chimera putting out some pretty good fire on the Widowmakers, and Astarde and Salty Hot Dog having a 1v1 fight over here, Viper versus Hunchback, and it looks like Viper's going to win that fight. Meanwhile, it's a 2-2 game in the main body. It's a 2-3 game in favor of the Reggies. 3-3 game, can't keep up with that. The Widowmakers making short work of this push of the concave that 2323 put in place with their brawly mechs. Salty Hot Dog coming in behind this Orion now in Meta 4, but he's moved on now to the Summoner on 57%, getting in his back, trying to finish him off, bring him down with those crits hits from the machine guns. Benjamin Kirsch, pretty good Overwatch position here in that Summoner. He's been putting down fire, I'm pretty sure, the whole fight here. We've got 3 mechs left standing for the Reggies, 2 mechs left standing for the Reggies, and I believe the Widowmakers are going to bring this home. Good push by them. The Reggies not doing the best, taking the best opportunity to collapse on that push from the Widowmakers. And we've got Benjamin and Salty Hot Dog Fingers pulling back, trying to link back up perhaps. Maybe Salt Dog's going to go out and try to play the cap game. They do have the cap lead with a 3-2 cap advantage, and we've got some slower mechs left for the Widowmakers. No one on the Widowmakers over, probably over 97 kph. The Griffin's probably the fastest mech on their team at this point.
The Griffin's pretty beat up. He might be hurt enough the Viper can take him if that comes down to it.
I'm sorry. We still have the Viper from Salty. He's moving away again, trying to play that cap game. Looks like he's going to try to maybe go around and grab Sigma. And Gamma is now flipping back to the Widowmaker. Widowmakers bringing down Benjamin Kirsch. We've got 5-on-1. The Viper, the lone standing mech for the Reggies. If he's able to get Sigma, keep playing, running around, playing the cap game, he might be able to prolong this game, but I do not think that he's going to be able to win it with 5 mechs left standing for the Widowmakers. They should be able to just split up, put 1 or 2 mechs on each cap, and wait for this match to finish.
Like Salty Hot Dog Fingers is making an attempt at it here, but they're spreading out pretty well. If he's lucky, he can take a cap and maybe get the first one that comes for him, but it's going to be a tough order to win this one now. Yeah, it looks like they're doubling up, going for him. Got Radic and Meta 4 and Anoni-chan and Summoner splitting up, trying to catch him.
And Salty Dog taking Sigma from the Widowmakers, but again, I don't know that it's going to be enough at this point with 4 caps flipping. I'm sorry, 4 caps flipping to the Widowmakers, leaving 1 on the field for the Reggies as they take 1 more. Cap and Sigma. And we've got the 2 mechs from the Widowmakers closing in on Salty Hot Dog Fingers, Kerensky, Radjack, and the Summoner, trying to finish off this Viper who's hurt pretty bad. I believe he just got legged in that shot. And Radjack finishes it off. The Widowmakers bring home Drop 3 Mining Collective. And unfortunately, because the Marauder 2C went down for the Widowmakers, they were unable to secure the bonus, but they were able to win the match. Death, talk to me about these damage numbers.
Alright, one thing jumps off the board. 3 mechs with over 800 damage from Clan Widowmaker here. Darkness and Radic and Summoners and Metaphor and that Oni-chan, the Brawlers bringing it in. Looking at the 23-23 side, good damage from Salty Hot Dog Fingers and that Viper. He was fighting hard there, trying to take it for him. 629 out of that little mech, but just not quite enough. A bunch of hurt mechs out there and just not quite able to focus them down.
Alright, and here we are at the end of Drop 3. It is 725 reputation points to 625 reputation points for the Reggies. Clan Widowmaker in the lead, 2-1 at this point. Death, why don't we talk about what we saw happen in that drop, sir?
Back in the map tool here. Alright. Well, Reggie's did what I said right at the beginning there, taking that Bravo Alpha and pulling that position with a little bit of Overwatch here. Echo 4. Grouping their guys up high. Getting eyes. Taking, not taking a cap off the initial push, which was a little surprising with Widowmaker going and getting Sigma early there. Dropping Bravo Charlie and taking that right high side. They got that Overwatch mech there on the little tank in Delta 5, pushed their guys along that low line in Theta here, and tried to sit on it with the 1 cap. Sending a guy up to Theta there to pop it to get a double on him, forcing Reggie's to go back, take Gamma and Epsilon. And we kind of got a real slow start in this one. About 6.5 minutes in before we actually had the push, with Reggie still balanced up there in Echo 4 with a couple of Overwatch up high. Widowmakers pushing in from that Echo 5 into Echo 4 and hooking left on them. Initially they were a little strung out, and I'm surprised the Reggies didn't take advantage of that and really jump those first few mechs. Those Oni-chans up front trying to tank it out for them, just not quite able to get the focus they needed. They popped their first couple mechs there on the Widowmaker side, but after that it looked like focus fire broke down a little bit for them. Bunch of mechs in the 60s and sub 50s percents for Widowmaker there at the end.
Yeah, that push in from Widowmakers, I thought Reggies were in a good position to receive. I thought that it was going to be a faulty push by the Widowmakers, and Reggies were going to be able to clean it up. Unfortunately, I do believe, again, we saw some superior focus fire from the Widowmakers. Reggies kind of fell apart in the brawl, if you will, and Widowmakers able to edge it out and bring it home for their team, once again securing in another drop. Perhaps the reason that they're sitting in first place in Division D right now. That being said, I want to be clear. Look at these reputation points. It's 100 points. That's 4 mech kills. 4 mech kills separating these teams at the end of Drop 3. Again, to put themselves in a position to win the division, the Reggies only have to beat the Widowmakers by 330 reputation points. That means that if they're able to get an 8-3, 8-4 kill lead in the next couple of drops, they can still win this division. It's time for them in their locker room, in their lobbies right now, on their TeamSpeak, on their Discord, whatever they use, to start talking. Talk about that focus fire. Talk about the things that went wrong in those first 3 drops. Turn it around. In drops 4 and 5, they can get 700 reputation points, putting themselves at 1,300. If they get 1,325, and keep the Widowmakers down to just a few hundred reputation points. Whether that's kills, maybe some bonus if they're able to get enough kills in one of those drops, but they can still bring this home.
Yeah, definitely. It's just tightening up a few things. There isn't a big gap here. They did a lot of damage to those Widowmaker mechs. Just a little bit of a loss of focus fire was the difference in that match.
Yeah, so we are going to get ready to move here to Drop 4 in just a second. Drop 4 is, of course, going to be Viridian Bog. Viridian Bog is, again, played on the Conquest game mode. It is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults, max 1 of any chassis, 1 duplicate allowed. The bonus here is to destroy all the heavy and assault mechs on the opposing team. Again, both teams after drop 3. Drops 1, 2, 4, and 5, both teams are able to get this bonus. So just destroy 4 mechs, and that has to be the big mechs on the enemy team. You get an additional 50 reputation points. Before I bring up the map strat tool and we talk about what we might see happen on Viridian Bog, we're going to do a giveaway. I know we talked about doing a giveaway, the 4 giveaways at the end of the night, but the teams need a couple of minutes here to get ready for this drop. So I'm going to bring up the giveaway tool, and just real briefly while I'm doing that, Death, let's talk about what we've seen tonight. What are some of the highlights, the things that you've seen from both teams, both pros and cons of both teams, while I get this giveaway tool going?
I mean, pro-wise, these guys come to Brawl. They push together as teams pretty well. You saw a little bit of a stall from 23-23 on that first drop that might have cost them there, but I mean, these are definitely some teams that have taken the experience this season in and really tightened things up. It's a very close match, just a little bit of difference in focus fire in that last match was the only difference. I expected to stay the same going forward. There is not a big skill gap here. There isn't a big difference in experience between these players anymore with 23-23 at the end of the season here now. And you're seeing individual pilots put up some big numbers, but also very good spreads across the boards from these teams. Everybody's really contributing here. You aren't seeing people make bad mistakes and get themselves iced out early.
So we're going to go ahead and do a giveaway right now. The prize will be determined once I get the codes from Bandit. We get those codes from NGNGTV and MRBCLeague.com. So first giveaway of the night, we're rolling in the channel. Anyone that's in the channel, who's been in the channel so far tonight, twitch.tv/MRBCLeague, is eligible for the giveaway. If you are the winner of this giveaway, send a whisper in Twitch to El Switchblade. I will respond with the code for the prize once I receive it. The prizes can be a Mech Bay, 500 MC, or premium 3 days of premium time. Once I get those codes, I will send them on. And the winner of this is Lil Ferret. Lil Ferret winning the first giveaway. Of course, he's playing tonight with Clan Widowmaker. Always love to see when pilots that are playing win these prizes. So we've got Team 1 locked in, Team 2 almost locked in. We've got a 20-ton disparity between the teams here. Team 1, the Reggies bringing in a lighter drop deck. Not a ton of tonnage there, but that often indicates whether you're running with pseudo lights or pseudo heavies on the assault end of the spectrum, if you will. Not sure how these teams are going to go with the Reggie tonight. We've seen a lot of the receiving, not a ton of brawl from them. They've had some receive laser vomit in both Tourmaline and on Mining Collective. So I'm curious if maybe they are taking the cue here and bringing a brawl deck into Viridian Bog, a map that I believe lends itself well to the brawl with the number of cap, the way that you can play the cap advantage on this game. So we've reached 80 viewers tonight, 80 viewers in Twitch watching live this Division D game on a Friday night. That's not too bad. Of course, we've peaked out much higher numbers earlier in the week. It's Friday night, it's Father's Day, right? People are out partying, celebrating being dads and all that stuff. Point of note, make sure, guys, that you're calling your dads on Sunday morning, sending them a note, maybe get them a card. One of my kids in here right now. So we're going to get going here in just a second, guys. It is MRBCLeague.com Season 9 North American Division D Week 10. The 2323 Reggies versus Clan Widowmaker. They are fighting the Battle of the D tonight. The winner of this match will take first place in Division D. Clan Widowmaker merely has to beat the Reggies by 330 points. The Reggies have to beat Clan Widowmaker by 330 points across both tonight's match and their upcoming match against NTEX. So if they max out and get 1,750 reputation points in NTEX, they only have to beat the Widowmakers tonight by 330 points. And we've got both teams indicating ready, and we are Crash and Burn Mech Warriors. getting into Viridian Bog. You know, I like Bog. It's one of those, once they did some fixes on it a few patches ago, where they cleared up some of the clutter on the ground. If you'll remember early on, you would get caught on routes, right? There were pieces of terrain on the map that would get hung mechs up. They fixed most of that, and since that time, I think Bog has proved itself to be one of the better maps in the game. What do you think about that, Death?
Oh yeah, I'd agree with you. It's a very good map for different kinds of fighting. You'll see some guys try to get up high on those little columns there, and put some poke out, put some PPC fire out. You'll see a lot of brawling down low in the water. You've got different areas you can use on this map too, with the exception of some of the far corners by the drop zones. There's a very large percentage of this map.
It's made for that, yeah. So here we are in the Reggie's cockpit. We've got Huntsman, looks like he's running Brawl, SRMs, and Small Pulse. We've got a Marauder 2C running ER Meads and Large Pulse Later Vomit. We've got a Jenner 2C running Small Pulse built for the Brawl. We've got an Arctic Cheetah built for the Brawl. We've got an Orion 2C built for the Brawl. We've got a Battlemaster 5 Large Pulse built for Trade Poke. We've got a Nova Prime built for the Brawl, and then the last mech on the Reggie side, we've got an Orion 2C, an Onichan. Going over to the Clan Widowmaker's side, we have a Panther, Med Pulse. We've got a Hunchback 4SP, Small Pulse, built for the Brawl. A Nightjar, Gauss PPC, Standard Poke Mech. Griffin 3M, built for the Brawl, 4 SRM 6s. We've got a Marauder 2C, Laser Vomit, Med Pulses, mostly. A Orion 2C, built for the Brawl. A Arctic Cheetah, built for the Brawl. And the last mech is a Kodiak, built with DACA. Both teams have capped their respective caps on either side, and they are stacking up around the center rock here, the Echo 5 ramp. I'm sorry, that's Widowmakers have stacked around the center ramp. Most of the Reggies are on the north end of the map. Left side, I think this is the Bravo 4 grid, over by Epsilon. And what were you saying about the Widowmakers, Death?
Talking about they're still having faith in that high DPS Kodiak and its ability to stay with its team.
Yeah, we've got the Widowmaker stacked here on the Echo 5 ramp there, moving around the left side, the south side of the map. We've got the two lights from the Reggies over here being perhaps scrolling on them. Meanwhile, most of the Reggies team has pushed around the north nipple of the map, and they are stacked on the stairs here, not really making an aggressive movement.
Like they might be trying to get ready to come up on that high ground, trying to get the lights to squirrel Widowmakers up high into a firing line, perhaps.
Widowmakers capping Theta. We've got a Stardy over here in the Panther capping Theta. That's going to put Widowmakers in a position to force the Reggies once in a position to move at them.
Theta is controlled by the enemy.
We've got some PPC fire coming down from the high ground from the Widowmakers. They've got the Huntsman here, the only mech that has shots right now. Most of their mechs on the backside of the south nipple.
Panther getting Theta, flipping caps in Widowmaker's advantage.
Most of the Reggies moving towards the Echo 5 ramp. They're starting to push up and follow the route that the Widowmakers took, but the Widowmakers have progressed around that, moved through the carapace here in the middle between the nipples, the center cleavage, if you will, and are making their way back around to the Echo 5 where they started this map balling up.
Kind of getting a NASCAR going around that center column there, but it looks like somebody from the Widowmakers might get caught on the back end here.
Yeah, we've got the Panther, Astarte. He's down to 85%. He's getting pushed pretty hard by these mechs. The smoke coming down, that's going to delay that push probably. Meanwhile, we've got the Widowmakers coming up, pushing hard behind them. I don't think that the Reggies know that they're... And Deadeyes is turning now. He is aware that they're there. They came from behind! And Widowmakers now pushing in. We've got only a few mechs able to get shots out on either side. Reggie's getting first blood there. Coronis bringing down Meta 4.
Blackstar in that 4SP tank fell off the edge for Widowmaker there. He's out of the fight for a minute here.
Damage numbers look pretty even for the most part. Neither team really has an advantage here. It's a very tight fight. Reggie's is a 2-0 game at this point, bringing down a medium and an assault, a heavy and an assault, one of each for the Widowmakers at this point. And they are pushing hard straight into them, not stopping. This is the kind of push that we need to see from these teams. I would like to see them more on a line. They're kind of spread out, backs exposed to different mechs, but they're doing a much better job of getting that focus fire and pushing in. You can tell that the Reggies are hungry. They want to win this fight. 4-1 game in favor of the Reggies at this point. A few mechs left for the Widowmakers, and they are hurt pretty bad. We've got two lights, a Nightgyre, and a Hunchback left on the field. And now just a Nightgyre and 2 lights left on the field. Reggie's doing a great job of cleaning this fight up. Little bit of a hang up here that started getting hung up on that, the Panther, getting hung up on that Carapace. Maximum Taco bringing him down, Brandish bringing on Comrade, and that's it. It is an 8-2 game in favor of the Reggies. They've got to go get a couple of cap points to clean this up. You've got a pile of bodies up here, moving up the Echo 5 ramp. This tight corner here, both teams pushing. Look at this edge, this ledge here. This ledge is about 2 mechs wide. Both teams choosing to have this brawl right here. Neither team really having a huge advantage, but the Reggies not stopping and forcing the Widowmakers to backpedal around this corner, get hung up on this hill, and spread their mechs across the line while the Reggies continue to progress aggressively into their ranks. Reggies bringing this home. 8-2 victory. Death, what do we see in these damage numbers?
Let's start on the Reggie side here. Pretty even across the board. Low end at 285, top end at 594. From Brandish Pride and that Huntsman, 3 kills, 3 assists, 594 damage. Medium mech making himself heard. And on the Widowmaker's side, Meadow 4 getting iced out in that Onichan early on. Blackster in that 4 SP fallen, getting out of the fight for a while, only putting up 134. Well, I've seen pretty even numbers across the board. Starting that Panther putting out the most damage. Pretty good for getting caught early there and taking some damage, but not able to get the focus fire there when that brawl started for the Widowmakers.
All right, here we are at the end of Drop 4. At this point, it is a 2-2 game. The Reggie's up 200 reputation point over the Widowmaker. We just finished up this drop. If you recall at the beginning of the night, we talked about, and we've talked multiple times throughout the night, the Reggies have to win by 330 reputation points. They have a 200 reputation point lead. As we get into drop 5, going into Crimson Straight, this could not be any closer. Death, I'm bringing up the map strat tool. Walk us through what we just saw happen there on Viridian Bog in drop 4 for these two teams in week 10, Division D, North America.
Alright, both teams quickly getting their back caps. Sigma there for the Clan Widowmaker, Gamma there for the Reggies. Pushing in for the brawl. Reggies push their big force there into Delta 4 to take Epsilon. With a couple lights over here and Echo 5 on the stairs just trying to get eyes on, I think. Widowmakers push in, getting Kappa. Wrong color there. Getting Kappa. Evening up the cap game, and they kind of set up there on the front edge of that center, Echo 5. And they send that Panther down to pop Theta and get the cap lead. Reggie's in the meantime setting up on the backside of Delta 4 over here with their lights still over in Echo 5. Widowmakers came around that corner in the backside of Echo 5. The lights for the Reggies scrolled back to the main part of their team, and they kind of got that NASCAR going around. And it was when the Panther came back in from Theta that he got kind of caught out, got a few shots in. It looked to me for a minute like Widowmakers were going to get their back there in Echo 5 on that NASCAR, and somebody, I don't know if they had seismic sensors or if they had a UAV up there for the Reggie, saw him, got turned around and intercepted that push on that Echo 5 corner, that choke point, very, very well. Yeah, the 4 SP for the Widowmakers, I think making a mistake, falling off the edge there, taking that big damage sink, the 4 SP with all that tank out of the fight for a solid 30 seconds. The Onichan that was behind him just got hammered after that, going down quickly, and from there, Reggie's managed to push into Echo 5, Echo 6 there, and kept the momentum rolling, focusing fire, and taking down the Widowmaker's mechs one by one.
Yeah, and overall, I just did not like that fight happening on that Echo 5 ramp, the south side of Echo 5, where you had just a few mechs able to get fire on. Again, kudos to Reggie's for recognizing they were pushing behind them. They aggressively pushed back into that line. The Widowmaker team didn't do a fantastic job of forming that concave. They actually had 4 or 5 mechs that were just cluttered up on each other, not able to put down fire. And the Reggies, they brought this home for themselves. They earned this win. And they are definitely feeling the hunger, and you can sense it in the shift in play in that drop, that they are not going to go quietly into the night. and we are going to be in store for quite a drop 5 here as we move forward into Crimson Strait Conquest. This is the center of battle engagement, the last drop of the night. 2 lights, 0 mediums, 2 heavies, 4 assaults, the heaviest of the drops in the match. Max 1 of any chassis, 1 duplicate allowed. The bonus here is to destroy the enemy Assault mechs. So again, bonus available for both teams. You must kill 4 mechs. Those 4 mechs must be the Assault mechs on either team. Death. I'm going to bring up the map strat tool here as we get ready to talk about Crimson Strait. You know, we've seen some pretty good brawl from the Widowmakers. We've seen some good receiving of the brawl. And then we've seen some counter brawl push with skirmish type mechs from the Reggies. So what do you think we're going to see happen here as we get ready to go into this final drop, drop 5 of the match tonight?
Well, it always seems to me on this like Team 2 has a little more options for what they can do. They could decide to bring in range on this one. You can take power positions on the island with a couple of kind of brawly fast mediums and lights to run around and try to play the cap game for you. You can group up and push. You take the caps as you go. You take Sigma, Kappa, and try to come in Theta with a big brawl team. And you make that fight happen there in Delta 4, Delta 5. Firstly, from the Reggie side on Team 1, you have a really quick cap on Gamma. Then you have a long ways to go to get a second cap from that Team 1 side. Obviously, the easy one to take there is Epsilon. You send a fast guy all the way down that arm to get it, but if Widowmakers drop somebody in Bravo there, they can almost cut that distance across that bay to Epsilon and intercept those guys, which can put a team in real trouble sometimes.
Yeah, winning that light fight at Epsilon can sometimes be the turning point in this. You know, you don't often see a lot of teams push that Epsilon fight, but you do often see teams try to get that island, either from Team 2 or try to push in from Team 1 side and get that island or get that Delta 4 positioning. So that fight at Epsilon can be crucial. We've seen that in Division C quite a bit this season, and I hope to see some pretty good fight from these teams going into this last drop. Team 1 is indicating ready at this point. I'm going to pop into the post game for just a second, take a look at these numbers. We came into this night, we talked about the maximum reputation points. Right now, with their current reputation points and the standing of this match, Widowmaker is sitting at 14,400 reputation points, and Reggie's at 13,075. If the Reggies are able to win against their NTEX match and get 1,750 reputation point, adding to their current 13,075, that would put them at 14,825. So Widowmakers have got to win this match. If they are able to get all 350 points out of this match, that would put them at 750, excuse me. That means the Reggies only need to get 75 points in this match and ice out NTEX with a 1750 drop, and they can take home first place. So this is going to be a real nail biter as we see what the Reggies do against NTEX in the upcoming weeks. We've got both teams indicating ready. We are going to go in here into the last drop of the match, drop 5, Season 9, North American Division D, Week 10. This, ladies and gentlemen, is for all the marbles, and this is for Terragato. Crash and burn, Mech Warriors!
Tell you what, Switch, going into this, something I'd like to see, and I don't know if we will. We used to see it pretty often, is that saddle push from Team 1. It hamstrings you a little in that cap game, but man, with what the Reggies are doing with their brawl game after that last match, I'd like to see them just hammer down and go in fast and hard for that brawl.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see. We saw that in Division C early on when Stun played Kong. Stun did a bit of a saddle push. Kong able to hold that off from the platform around Kappa and bring that game home for themselves. But it was quite close, that fight there at the saddle. Getting ready to drop in here. This is MRBCLeague.com, twitch.tv/MRBC League, the largest community-run Mech Warrior Online competitive league. And let's take a look at the mech build-outs for Team 1 here. So we've got Benjamin Kirsch dropping in. We'll see his loadout here in just a second. Small Pulse Laser Jenner 2C. And we've got a linebacker running small pulse, that's 2 brawl mechs. Marauder 2C running laser vomit, that's med lasers and large pulse. Battlemaster running 5 large pulse. And we've got a Marauder 2C running large pulse med lasers, that's laser vomit. So the Reggies again opting for the laser vomit. Articheetah in a brawl mech. We've got the Ebon Jag laser vomit, and then the last mech for the Reggies is going to be the Gargoyle running brawl. Mixed brawl and laser vomit deck for the Reggies. Going over to the Widowmaker side, we've got a Summoner with brawl SRMs. We've got a Nightjar with Gauss PPCs. We've got a Marauder 2C with med pulse. We've got a Kodiak 3 running the dock. I bring in that Kodiak again. Marauder 2C with ER PPCs and medium lasers. That is an interesting build. And then we've got an Articheetah running small pulse brawl. Panther running medium pulse brawl deck. And we've got a Battlemaster with laser vomit, large pulse, and med pulse. What? Both teams opting to bring mixed decks here tonight.
Yeah, and Widowmaker's going straight across the water there, just trying to get into it as fast as they can, using those range mechs they've got in there as kind of a point guard, putting a little bit of fire out that they saw a few guys from the Reggies crossing. Reggies going power after Epsilon, keeping their guys on the back side of that ridge.
Most of the Reggies mechs, yeah, moving towards Epsilon. They've got salty hot dog fingers Karinsky here and his Cheetah trying to keep eyes on the Widowmakers mechs as they move up into Theta. This is the bulk of the Widowmakers team here. They're trying to move along the water now just a little bit. The Reggies have gone wide here around Epsilon. You called it, and neither team really in a position to put out a lot of fire. Most of the buildings and island terrain here, or hill terrain, blocking line of sights. Decent strike by the Widowmakers, forcing the Reggies back into cover, but not a lot of damage. This line here from the Widowmakers, I like this line here, potential for this line. A couple of mechs stacked up on top of each other, but this is a pretty solid advance from the Widowmakers here, pushing into the Reggies. Reggie's not in a great position to receive. King Coronis off balance on his own in that Marauder. He's at 59%, 58%. He's going to be hurting pretty bad as Conrad comes in to try to finish him off. Smoke out by King Coronis.
Reggies is out of this. They need to get up front and get some damage in on these front line of the Widowmakers mechs, and they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, the Reggies bringing that laser vomit, but none of these mechs are in a great position to put down that laser vomit mech. Widowmakers having that mixed brawl, mixed range deck here in a much better position. And first blood goes to the Widowmakers. Comrade bringing down King Coronis at this point. Widowmakers pushing up on the left side back towards Epsilon. Reggie's out of position here. If I was the Reggies, what I would start doing is pulling back, forcing those Widowmaker mechs into my lines of fire on the backside of Epsilon here. But it looks like the Reggies are going to use the buildings, try to slice the pie, get out that damage. These brawling mechs from the Widowmakers, though, continue to close. We've got 3 separate engagements here. Multiple fights happening over here by Epsilon. We've got a 2-on-1, 3-on-1 situation over here by Benjamin Kirsch, and then a 1-on-1 situation here in the water. And Widowmakers...
Hot dog's finger on that Nightjar, but it might be a little too late here.
And Darkness and this Summoner detecting what's going on with his Nightjar, hearing the call on comms, he's moving in to try to support, get this Cheetah off his Nightjar buddy. It's 2 mechs left for the Reggies. They legged that Cheetah, and Darkness is going to move in and finish him off. We got Hindsight, the last mech left for the Reggies, in that Gargoyle, and he's trying to do what damage he can. Focusing on the Panther, putting his back to a larger mech. Meta bringing down Hindsight, and Widowmakers win this 7-1, taking home the evening. Man, that was quite a fight there. I've not seen a fight that focused on Epsilon in this season. Death of Gods, walk through these damage numbers for us, please. And I'm not hearing you.
I alt-tabbed and lost the match score again.
Alright, no worries, so I'll talk through this. We've got MVP for the Clan Widowmaker is going to be Speedy Mechanic with 577. MVP for the Rage is going to be Chimera, yet again, with 475 damage. Hindsight getting the only kill for 2323. Meanwhile, we had 3 kills for Metaphor and 2 kills for Speedy Mechanic on Clan Widowmaker. Pretty decent damage spread from Clan Widowmaker. They're bracketing 205 up to 577. Most of their mechs averaging around 400 or so. So not bad job by the Widowmaker spreading that damage, focusing fire. Meanwhile, on the Reggie side, they've got a few outliers, sub 200, but most of the mechs doing around 225, 250 damage. So good match there to end the night off. However, we've got at the end of drop 5 for this match, the Widowmakers bringing it home with, I didn't save it, sorry, 3 drops to 2 drops for the Reggie. and a total reputation score 1125 for the Widowmakers, 1000 for the Reggies. That is not going to be enough of a lead for the Widowmakers to keep the Reggies out of potentially taking first place for them. With the Widowmakers getting the bonus and the win in that drop, and the distance between the two teams across the previous drops, when we go into the post-game drop here, or post-game scores, the Reggies are at 13,100 reputation. The Widowmakers, this is their last drop match of the season, 14,750. That means that the Reggies with 13,100, if they're able to get all of the points from their match against NTEX, that puts them at 14,850. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 100 reputation points separating these two teams. After the results tonight, that's the Widowmakers at 14,750, the Reggies at 13,100. And again, if the Reggies are able to beat NTEX and get maximum points, 1,750 points, that puts them at 14,850. It is 100 reputation points. That's 4 mech kills, 1 drop, 2 bonuses, separating these two teams as the Reggies move into their match 10 against NTEX coming up next week. This could not be any tighter in the battle for the D. We've got the team captains from the two teams here coming into our chat room right now to have a conversation with us. I've got Speedy Mechanic and Meta4 in with us from Clan Widowmaker, and Benjamin Kirsch from 2323 Reggies. They're watching the replay right now, so let's give them a second to finish that up. I'm going to go ahead and go back into the match screen for just a second. Death Gods, bring up the map strat tool and walk us through what we saw happen on that fight.
Well, alright. They did pretty much what I called for that brawl push from the Widowmaker side. They're taking Sigma, rolling their bulk across the water here for a high-speed push, and sending a couple of their fast movers to pop Kappa and Theta to give them the Cap advantage. Meanwhile, Reggies from Team 1 there took Gamma and swung the bulk of their forces all the way to Epsilon, taking a heavy power position on that point there with 1 light back in, I believe it was the corner of Delta 5 there. Don't know if he was trying to look and see if he could align to take Theta from her, or if he was just getting eyes on. But looks like Widowmakers recognized that the bulk of their forces was on Epsilon there and called the hard push over the rocks there in Delta 3, using them as cover to get in close, and got themselves that brawl there in the buildings right in front of Epsilon. Reggie's just not able to get good overlapping fields of fire to bring them down there. I don't know if the push got in a little bit early before they could get set up there. It looked to me like maybe if they could have pulled back a little, either moved back to the edge of the point there or down the water of Delta 3, they might have been able to get some more guns on. But Widowmaker's rolling hard and fast, just taking down focusing mechs and taking them down quickly.
Death, yet another fantastic breakdown here. So we've got the team captains from both teams, and with us we've got from the Reggies, 2323 Reggies, Benjamin Kirsch. From Clan Widowmaker, we've got Meta4 and Speedy Mechanic. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Let's dive into this. Congratulations to both teams for a great match tonight. Widowmakers obviously winning the match tonight by a significant lead, 1,650 reputation points. However, the Reggies keeping that distance between the two teams so close that they still have a chance of taking first place from the teams. So let's start out with Widowmaker. Going into tonight, knowing how crucial it was for you to score very high, keep the point totals from the Reggies low. How did you prepare for this? Anything specific that you did? Any strategy you had coming in? And how did those unfold for you?
We did a lot of planning, actually. We definitely put in a lot of strategies. We knew these guys were great. They'd been our best competition all season, so we knew also some of our leadership was out this week, so a lot of our other guys came together to really practice a couple of extra strategies, because we knew this was going to be the fiercest competition.
And Reggies, same question to you guys going into this. You were coming in behind on points. You had to not only beat the Widowmakers, but beat them by a certain number. Did you go into this trying to be a little bit more passive with your mechs, save them? What was your overall thinking here in getting into the drop tonight, and how did you prepare for it?
Yeah, we played a lot of CW and trolled KCOM a bit, so that's kind of how we prepared for this.
There are a few teams in this game that I love trolling more than KCOM.
Yeah, I mean we did do a lot of practice, but again, this is our first season, so we are still learning some of how to work out some of these strats. I think I saw a comment in the thing. We have a good deck set up, but some of our execution, kind of missed the mark a little bit.
Yeah, first season coming out of the gate in Division D, you guys have done a pretty good job. Widowmaker's obviously been around for a while, winning Div E2 last season. They've got that camaraderie, that pilot knowledge of each other, but they quite a large roster too. The Widowmakers you guys are playing with it looks like almost different pilots every week. As we look at the numbers at the beginning of the game. How have you guys felt that post-skill tree has it impacted your teams? And either team can start out with this. Have you felt a decline? Have you felt that folks are just sort of adjusting to it and now getting back into it? Where are your teams at right now?
Well, I mean, for 2323, we have what we like to call the nerd brain trust. It's always been one of our strong points. And with skill tree, we actually had a lot of people come back. I joked about us playing CW, but we are actually very active in CW again. So we had a lot of minds working on the skill tree from the day it came out, grinding it out. So I think we got into it as quickly as possible, and I think we have pretty decent skill tree setups. I mean, they may not be perfect; they could stand some tweaking, but I don't think we're as far behind as maybe some people expect you to be.
So Widowmakers, you know how close it is, right? They're essentially.
Oh God!
If Reggies are able to dominate against NTEX next week, you're going to lose your first place position. Do you? And feel free not to answer this question, but do you guys plan on scrimming against NTEX and getting them ready to hold, so you can hold your first place position, getting them ready to take on the Reggies? How are you going to try to manipulate what is left of the season for you and maintain that first place position?
That's going to be an interesting call there. I mean, I would love to, slide over and help Intex out. Absolutely. I want to try to win this thing. First off, Benjamin, you put a hell of a match together tonight and really made this a good fight for us.
Yeah, same.
Whatever the outcome is, I mean, it's been a fantastic season. But still got one more. Kind of wish we'd already know the results now, but now we have to wait for 6-7 days or something like that to know the true. But
yeah,
6-7 days. That sounds like 4 scrims with NTEX to me. I mean,
yeah, wear them out so that when they fight us, they're all tired.
You're right.
Works for me.
I need to hold to the Intex just does their usual, and they know what that is because they've done it every time.
Nice.
Well, if you beat them, you've earned it.
Right.
Great team.
Both you teams too. Like we've talked to both you teams throughout the season. You've both been pretty committed to MRBC. Love to see this late in the life cycle of this game, to see folks still excited about competitive play, excited about the opportunities that the game presents itself. This is the medium that we choose to have these fights, these battles, and the friendships that we form. And I really just thoroughly appreciate both PGI and MRBC for allowing us to have this. So in closing, from you guys, let's go ahead and start with the winning team here tonight, CWM, Claim Widowmaker. Any comments for your opponents, the audience watching, anything to close out with?
Well,
I think they really did well overall as a team. They did well against our particular pushes. We had a couple of bad calls, and actually I was the one who was drop calling for the first battle that we lost, and they held together well and held a line. I hope they continue to do that versus NTEX. Those guys are really good as well, so look forward to hopefully seeing that on a stream also.
And then over to you guys, Reggies. Anything to say back to the Widowmakers of the audience watching tonight? We peaked over. We got 104, maxed at 104 tonight, so that's not too bad for a Friday night Father's Day weekend.
Yeah, especially for Div D, right?
No disparaging marks. All divisions are worth watching, in my opinion.
All divs matter.
Yeah, CWM, you guys did a great job. I mean, you guys came hard, prepared, and fought very well. Definitely gave us an extreme challenge both times we've played you. And I just want to say, you brought up being committed to MRBC. We are committed to MRBC and the game. We recently recommitted that internally with the unit. We've been very active more so than we have been probably in the past year. So we're going to be around for a while, hopefully.
Yeah,
Well,
and
great.
on that note as well as committed is, it has not been a strange thing for us to be on an MRB's drop night and look in our own team speak, and there's 12 pilots sitting for an 8-man job. It's like, okay, we have to, look at who we need to fit in as opposed to hoping people show up. And I love this luxury of having, the amount of great pilots that we have to work with over here. I mean, everyone is worth their weight, in the, the spots. There is no pilot that we won't say, no, you cannot drop with us. We know everyone is worth the drop.
All right, folks. That is great. Kudos to both teams. Clan Widowmaker bringing it home tonight, 3-2 victory over the Reggies. That's 1,125 reputation points to 1,000 reputation points, respectively. Want to appreciate both of you guys for coming out. We're going to roll in and do our last 3 giveaways of the night. So jump into Twitch channel. It'll take me about 30-45 seconds to switch over and get this going. That should give you time to get in the lobbies if you're not already there. Thank you very much, guys. And again, from MRBCLeague.com, we really appreciate your commitment to the league. Death, any closing comments for these teams while I get the giveaway ready?
I just want to say that was a great fight tonight, guys. Those are some really tight brawls. I mean, that was as close to brawl fights as I think I've seen in all season.
It was good fun.
All right,
everyone got their entertainment value out there.
That's
3-2
key.
is a good match.
Yeah, we want 3-2 matches. We show no favoritism, and we like to see good fights. We don't care who wins as long as it's a 3-2. So, all right, well, let's get ready to give into this giveaway. We've got the giveaway tool up now. I've removed myself, Death, and Moobot, and we are rolling. Again, if you are the winner of this giveaway, send a message in Twitch to L Switchblade, and I will respond with a code and the prize when I receive those. Those can be either a Mech Bay 500MC or 3 days of premium time, depending upon what the lords at NGNGTV and MRBCLeague.com are able to provide to me. And we are rolling. And the winner of the second roll for a prize is N8 in Indy. N8 in Indy. Please send a message to Switch via Twitch, and we will get you that prize. And let me remove him since he has already won that. And Little Ferret, since he won something earlier, I forgot to remove him. Now we are rolling for the third giveaway. If you're the winner of this giveaway, send a message via Twitch to L Switchblade. I will respond with the code and the prize once I receive those. And we are rolling. And it looks like it's going to be Rain City Dad winning that prize. Rain City Dad, send a whisper via Twitch to L Switchblade. Removing him from the roll, and we're rolling for the fourth giveaway of the night. This is the last giveaway, and here we go. And the winner of the last giveaway is going to be... Oh, so close! Krasnopesky. Send a message to Switch via Twitch, and I will get you that code when they come in. Alright, guys, so let's take a look at this post-game once again. As we leave Division D tonight, we have one match left that will be the decider between the winner and the second place team, or the first place losers, if depending upon your philosophy on participation trophies. We've got some upcoming casts to talk about. We have coming up on the 18th of June, RJ Base is going to be casting Isengrim versus the Smoke Adders 373 3rd Winged Viper Cluster. And then on the 20th of June, RJ Base is going to bring up 228th Blackwatch versus Dropship 5. We have one more roll that we need to do tonight. We have next Thursday night, a fantastic set of drops that could be happening. We've got Isengrim versus BSK. we have Dropship 5 versus Osiris. And we have 228 versus SJR. Now, I had put out to the community to help me try to decide which one of these matches to cast. Unfortunately, it came down to a pretty close tie. There was a straw poll that was posted, but you can vote on that straw poll multiple times. It should be noted that straw poll, the Isengrim versus BSK match, was the match that most folks wanted to watch. So I thought it'd be fun tonight to end it out by letting the Latch Tools decide for us who was going to be the winner of the cast that we're going to cast. All three of these matches are going to be fantastic. So let's roll and let's see who's going to be cast next Thursday. What do you think, Death? What's it going to be? What's it going to be, Death?
I'm feeling eyes in BSK.
And it is rolling. Let's see what happens. And it looks like it is. It's going to be 228 versus SGR. 228 versus SGR will be the match that we're casting next Thursday. Wish that we could cast all three teams. Anyone out there who's interested in getting into shoutcasting, reach out to me. I am happy to walk you through the tools, happy to walk you through how to use the overlay. Not a lot of challenge in the tool set. Would be great to see more shoutcasters for MRBC League so that we can see these great matchups coming. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight for this matchup between the 2-3-2-3 Reggies and Clan Widowmaker. Clan Widowmaker bringing it home, putting themselves in a pretty good position to secure first place in Division D. However, the Reggies have one match left and might be able to bring it home if they have a resounding victory over Entex. I was your shoutcaster tonight, El Switchblade, and joining me on his debut cast was Mr. Death of Gods. Thank you very much for coming out with me tonight, sir.
Yep, anytime, Switch.
All right, folks, thank you once again. We are Crash and Burn Mech Warriors.